I think Dr. Divakar's conviction and clarity is spreading all across. I would just stop for a small break. Sir, a small break right now. We have with us Dr. Kamal Singh, the Director General of National Human Resource Network, NHRDN. He was to come on the inaugural session, but unfortunately had to leave for Hyderabad. So he's waiting at the Hyderabad airport, and he would just address and fulfill his commitment which he gave to us a month back to just share his views as to how NHRDN is helping out the HR people. There is a lot of stiffness amongst the HR people to open up their policies, practices and plans of recruitment as if it is some intelligence classified report or something like that. In fact, the entire recruitment exercise should be well chalked out for a 7-year plan like in the chip industry or in the manufacturing sector for a long period of time. So we have Dr. Kamal Singh with us. Good afternoon, sir. Yeah, so we have, I'm making you live over here. So we would like to just know from you, like how NHRDN is enabling, is helping out the HR people, HR managers in opening up their various policies, practices and plans of recruitment for the general transparency, for the sake of the training and placement officers. We have 4,500 engineering colleges across the country. So a kind of transparency is probably required, some information to act upon. So you may please address the audience on this, sir.
Okay. Let me first of all say that it's a privilege to be addressing such a august gathering, and my apologies for not able to make it because I have to catch a flight to Hyderabad for our annual national conference. So my sincere apologies for the people here. And but what I want to say at this point of time, that there is a challenge everywhere in terms of finding the employable people. And as a result, there is a further greater challenge on both the business schools and also as well as the engineering students to really look at the possibilities how they can make their product employable. And to me personally, at this point of time, I would like to say that while the graduates are getting churned out by the number of business school and number of engineering colleges, but they are not able to find jobs. So what we need to really strengthen the capacities within the both business school and the engineering students. We can build apart from the theoretical knowledge. And as at National HRDN Network, basically we are trying to introduce for the first time the rating of business schools and also as well as the accreditation of those schools. We are Academic Advisory Board recently met and decided that we would like to introduce this subject from April 2013. And one of the differentiators from the rest of the rating of business school that we will bring on NHRDN network basically will be to get the validation of those business schools. There are many takers as of now and many parties doing this exercise, but there is no validation of the data that we get, and many times it is a perception-based survey, and many times it is just only a data that we have collected. So as NHRDN, we would like to bring a totally transparent, credible and validated data which will ultimately help not only the parents, not only the students, but also the industry as a whole to see which are the best business schools and best engineering institutions in the country from where they can recruit and hire. Our industry consortium decided that whoever will be able to validate the data, in addition to that, they will have to go to those business schools along with the NHRDN team to see whether whatever data they have provided, they are able to validate that infrastructure, be it faculty, be it industry, academic interface, whatever are the parameters, they would like to do it. And from the point of view of any employable engineer or a manager, personally, I would like to say that these people must be given adequate inputs for really making them employable from the, what I mean by it is practical orientations. Many of the students that are coming, they are are that the students and engineers should have, they need to have a positive attitude. They need to have a passion to win. And they need to have creative mind. They have to think innovatively to bring out solutions for the companies. They also need to be flexible in their approach to really make the things happen. They also need to be quality conscious, because how the quality really makes a difference in our life, because everything means quality. They also must be good in execution skills. Many of us are good in talking, but only few are good in not only talking but also implementing. So execution skill is one of the key differentiators for many of the managers that companies are today hiring. In addition to that, they need to also think how they can bring so much value proposition in power of communications. The power of communication today, as you go along, even for a negotiation, even for a presentation, even for that matter of having an interaction, or even for hiring, the first impression that you draw from the power of communication. So I would like to recommend that the business school must give a special emphasis to train, reorient their budding managers on the skills of communication. Also, they must keep in mind, today globally, if you look at, there are not many business schools who are giving ethical educations, because value has become now ingrained. If you look at, there are so many problems, right from Lehman Brothers to Satyam in India, the ethical has become the key. The values and ethics has become the key part of our learning. So those business schools who will be pursuing those paths will be definitely getting distinguished from rest of the business schools. In addition to that, they also must give a considered view on preparing their managers for cross-cultural skills. The cross-cultural, because today we are not preparing an engineer or manager only for India. They can be hired globally. They can be sourced by globally. So therefore, we need to also tell them, in addition to whatever we are able to coach them during the 2 years or 3 years or 4 years program, they must know what are the cross-cultural skills to become globally employable. So these are my recommendations to your placement and HR heads, who will be able to bring those insights when they go back to the campus and give a considered view. Because as you know, there is only 70% the learning taking place outside of classrooms. Only 30% is theory. So 70% of the time, the business school must spend on preparing these managers and engineers to really see how their leadership, how their creativity, how their professional prowess can be further enhanced and brought to the level that the industry today needs. So therefore, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to simply submit, it is ultimately the survival of the fittest. Those are the business school and engineering students, they will be able to cope up with this, the theory of the fittest, they will do continuously well. And those who cannot, they will get isolated. As a result, they will also get slowly, gradually disappear. So to me personally, all of us in India, if you look at the demographic dividend, if you can only make it only happen when our product is good, our engineers are good, our MEs are good, and they can then compete globally. Otherwise, this demographic dividend has no value when you talk about skill-based education from the point of view of running the company successfully. So with these words, I can say my best wishes to all of you, and sorry once again for not able to make it personally myself. Maybe next opportunity, I look forward of interacting with you, and as NHRDN, I would like to promise you our help to support you in grooming these leaders to prepare for tomorrow. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for giving me this much time, and I wish you all the best.
Thanks a lot, sir. Thanks a lot. Any questions for Dr. Singh? Sir, would you like to take a couple of questions from our audience?
Actually, I am taking.
Fine, sir. Fine, sir. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for your time, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much.
The question is actually I want to ask to every panelist that everybody talks about a gap between the organization or to the corporate world or the public sectors and the colleges. But really, I think we are not coming up with the solutions. So can anybody suggest a solution that how we can bridge this gap?
When I talk, I have a solution.
So we have a solution giver explicitly with us. Thank you.
Recently, many of the institutes started MBA Aviation Management. I visited them, Banasthali and then Dehradun and all, because the aviation sector is growing. But none of the institute thought about what really we require. And the result is that MBA Aviation Management could not be sold, that course. And there is a great amount of dissatisfaction among the people who have done MBA Aviation Management. So my request is the things can be viable. If anybody is starting a course, easy industry requirement, what they want, that will be the best solution, and it requires a great amount of research.
Here again I have a question, because it is very difficult from us, from the college side, to start domain kind of things, which generally the organization are looking. Let's say every organization is a different domain of working. Health sector, for example, health sectors is looking some other kind of engineer, railway is looking some another kind of engineer, airport authority is looking some other kind of engineers, knowing their processes and their practices. So it is very difficult, if I see from my part, that how we can teach every domain to every engineer.
No, it is easy. You see, the focus is to be made on one. You say aviation. You call it power sector, it is power sector. You go to any particular, you see, field, everybody wants specialization, and some core area is always available. And I can say with the force that aviation is a field, it is quite specialized. We require the right kind of people, we don't get. The problem is they don't have the right kind of aptitude.
I guess the problem is that they don't get the environment actually to work in, real environment. And the training which we, the colleges are providing, let's say the 6-month training which most of the universities have started, even that is not really
No, you see the latest
real results.
You see, we also follow that. We take foundation as competencies. We are taking a person as a foundation, competencies foundation. Now we have to generate expertise out of it. Then only we assign the roles. So basic, we want basic caliber. Every organization trains the person. We also go for on-the-job training and otherwise also in our institute. But you can always focus on a particular area.
And let's see one more question on this only. I think I should ask to other people also. Can we do that way, that the training which you are providing, let's say in your area for 1 year, can it be reduced so that some part goes to the colleges, and you pick the engineer right from 6 months before, let's say? Have a test.
Sir,
to provide the equal opportunity.
Our whole curriculum has been picked up only from colleges. We have visited so many of them, and we have designed our curriculum, as ma'am was saying a while back. It was a 2-year program. We have reduced it to 1 year, and all the modules are picked up by visiting various engineering colleges and various institutes. So it's not that we are doing anything in isolation. 1, 2, the very basic question that you asked about engineers. Yes, specialized areas may be required, like maybe special engineers on aviation. We don't require specialized engineers. We require mechanical engineers. We require electrical engineers. We require civil engineers. And these mechanical engineers are competing not from outside the world. They are competing amongst themselves from 4,000 odd engineering colleges of this country. So what is it that one mechanical engineer year on year basis qualifies from one particular institute and not any other institute? Some institutes must be doing something right, that each year I get a lot of engineering graduates from Andhra, for example. I was looking at the demographics and the analytics I was talking about. Almost 70% of my engineering graduates are shared with just 4 states. Just 4 states are sharing the 70% of our engineering intake. So what are these 4 states doing that others are not doing? We must have a serious introspection program first of all, in context of our content, in context of our curriculum, in context of our imparting the knowledge, imparting the information that we are trying to get across to people, and in some of the softer skills.
Thank you, sir.
I would now like to invite Dr. V.K. Sharma. And in his introduction, I would just simply like to say that he is known to be the Bhishma Pitamaha of placements. So with a rider, probably that he is on the right side of the curve with the right people. His allegiances are for the good part. So I would request Dr. Sharma to give his thoughts and sum up this entire discussion from his vast experience and learnings. What takeaway we are having at the end of this first session of ours? Dr. Sharma.